Oh, what to do when you have leftover corned beef and cabbage? What do you do with that? Well, some people just have leftover corned beef and cabbage the same way they had it on St. Patty's Day. Some people take that corned beef and just kind of slice it up and make some kind of sandwich out of it. Some people make kind of a twist on the idea of a Reuben, another sandwich, and kind of go that route. Some people have the leftovers and they may just kind of add it to like a bed of rice or something just to kind of supplement the leftovers. And those are all valid, but they're also very typical. Been there, done that. So what else is there that you can do that's different and exciting? Joey Star here for Star Quality Kitchen. I'm gonna try for the first time and show you how I do it. I'm gonna make Irish ramen. So here's how you do it. You gotta go and make yourself a badass corned beef with cabbage, right? I mean, you already know how to do that. Heck, you might even have leftovers that you got from someplace else. Whatever it is, let's start there. I actually don't have that much leftover corned beef and cabbage because what I made was so tasty that I hate most of it. What I did was I took out the chunks of corned beef that I have left here. I used fingerling potatoes in my corned beef and cabbage. And so those are like really big pieces. And since I'm making a ramen and I have full intentions of using chopsticks for this, so what I want to do is I want to take the corned beef and the potatoes and just kind of cut them up into more bite-sized pieces so that they're manageable with a pair of chopsticks. Let me go ahead and do that. Now you may be thinking that I could have just pulled apart the corned beef. And if you want to try it that way, I guess that's valid. My thing is, I don't like having these really long shredded pieces. It makes it a bit awkward when you're operating your chopsticks. I did kind of cut mine into cubes, but because the meat is so tender, some of it just kind of acted like pulled corned beef anyway. And that's fine because they're going to be shorter length ones. So they're still going to work pretty well, I would think, in this context. And of course, I cut up my fingerlings to about this size, just to give you an idea, just kind of, between my finger and thumb there. I think this is a good size for your potatoes. Your potatoes may already be this size, depending on how you made your corned beef and cabbage, or you might have, typically when I use different potatoes, I got these like bigger chunks or like maybe a quarter or a third of a potato. I feel like those are kind of big for a ramen. So I would really recommend, maybe just these little like 1-inch pieces like this. I think that would be great. So I'm going to take that. This is a brand new concept. Who even adds corned beef to ramen, right? So we're making our own rules as we go. You know what I always say, them if they can't take a joke. So now while my water boils to prepare my ramen noodles, I'm going to go ahead and stir the corned beef and potatoes that I've added back to my pot with the cabbage, carrots, and the rest of it, and just kind of heat that up a little bit more. So here's my bowl of a dry Irish ramen. I say dry as in a dry ramen, not as a drinking joke. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm using a plain ramen noodle. It's a noodle brand called Chung Li. It's Chinese. Very inexpensive. Quality is kind of in the middle. But you can use just about any kind of noodle you want. I guess if you have a package of ronzoni or egg noodles or something, I mean, you can do the same thing. I'm sure it's going to come out great, but at that point, it's not really ramen. It's just pasta. And that's not a bad thing. It's just different than what I'm doing right now. I'm going to take some of the noodles and just kind of see how it did as far as absorbing the flavors of the corned beef and cabbage. So that is good. It helps if the noodle you have already has its own flavor, because instead of just absorbing everything, it's going to kind of mix together. The noodle I have, and that's going to vary depending on what you buy, I got a nice chew to it. The bit that I just took now had a little bit of corned beef, had a little bit of carrot, and those flavors kind of, they melded nicely. I wouldn't say it's like perfect, like going to a Japanese ramen place and getting a nice bowl of tonkatsu, but for at home, for exploiting the flavors of your leftovers, that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and take a chunk of this corned beef because I want to show you what I meant when I said about the way you cut it means so much. I mean, look at the way I'm holding this. Now, if I had this long shredded piece, it'd be all like, all weird and stuff. It would still be tasty, but this is a lot more comfortable. If you agree, I think it plates pretty well. And of course, everybody knows leftover corned beef is the going to go ahead and try a piece of this potato. Again, bite-sized chunks, more behooving of a dry ramen like this. And of course, it's delicious because, first of all, it's a fingerling potato. They taste so good. They got this kind of natural, buttery taste to them, even if you don't add any butter to it, even if you don't season it. Skin's always tender and soft and tasty, and maintains some of those minerals for you, assuming you didn't boil them away. Because it's been sharing space with that corned beef for a couple of days, it's taken in some of those flavors as well. Let me get a fattier piece of this corned beef. Oh, this is going to have a little bit of carrot with it, and I'm going to just take it in with some of the actual noodle. Let me see if I can kind of coordinate that here. There we go. Corned beef, carrot, and ramen. That is really tasty. And what I like about it too is that it's a very uncommon, untraditional flavor, but because it doesn't clash, it's a real tasty treat. I mean, this could be a whole new kind of fusion, huh? We'll take some really good Irish dishes and find ways to make it work with Asian cuisine. I mean, hey, anybody out there who wants to start a restaurant that way, you got to make me a partner. Otherwise, I'm calling copyright infringement. Some more. If I have to pick on something about this, is that once you make a bowl, the ingredients, particularly the corned beef, tends to cool rather quickly. So you don't want to really dawdle like I am explaining stuff to you. You kind of want to eat it right away. Make sure that everything is hot and steaming with your name on it when you put it together so that you can enjoy this food at its best potential. And that's all I really want to say about this, because you know what? I tried something new. I had this idea. Apparently it was a good one because this tastes really good. I tried it out. I'm sharing it with you, and now you can try it too. Who knows? Maybe you and me can make this a new annual tradition right after St. Patty's Day. That's not a bad food game plan for mid-March. So how about you? What do you like to do with your corned beef and cabbage leftovers? Do you go a more traditional route like I explained in the beginning of the video? Or do you have some other outlandish ideas that you think is delicious and feel like only you, your family, or your closest friends can understand? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ways to try tasty familiars. Thanks so much for watching Star Quality Kitchen. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and stalk. Laters. Mmm. 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 There's nothing quite like taking two favorite staples and combining them into a nice comfort food. Yeah. Great job, Joey. You did it again.